Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Friday, October the 1st. So, with the ASX here, it's pretty much following the S&P and the NASDAQ. So we can look at it a couple of different ways, but the takeaways here are that we're in a wave 4. It's not finished. This move down here is bullish corrective. We will make new highs. We are working in lots of threes here. So we're working in WXY combos. So we're looking at this type of double sort of zigzag pattern here with an ABC for the W and ABC for the X and ABC for the Y. I think that's where we are. So really it's an extension of the flat correction in that regard. So, the thing here mentioning that is that I've got it from the, if I've got it as an A and a B and a C wave here, then we can have this here as 1 and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. If I label it a WXY here, then this move here will be just in 3 waves down, an A wave here, copy that for the B wave on that little top there, and then come down for the C wave, and then that would be it at that point. So we'll either get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we'll get an ABC down to the 7,000. So that's kind of where we are. Let's just cruise in and look at that. So yeah, so wave 3 up here, we don't need all of that. So we've got wave B here. So we've got an A and a B and a C wave to that point. And that would be the end of it, okay? The other point is that we could get 5 waves down. So we'll look it down here as wave 1 here and copy that and put wave 2 there. And then we have, an extra leg to the downside of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, which one will it be? Probably in 3 waves, but we'll just be open-minded a little bit about it. The main point is that we want to capture this trend to the downside here. On the 1 hour chart, let me just get this sorted here a little bit. So we can look at, so the A, the B here, we can look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for wave 1, or we can look at it for wave A down here. And then we go back for the B. We talked about that yesterday. That can just go up there of C, of B, or wave 2 there. We don't need these over here, so I just move them. So we can look at wave 1 here, wave 2 pulling back, wave 3, 4, and 5. So we're in a good position here, really, because if this is wave 1 here, then this would be the wave, this would be in the third blue wave 3 here, and then in green wave 3. So we'll be in the third of the third at that point. So we really want to kind of build in on any new lows below the 7,200. Now the 7,200, just to remind you, is the old COVID high as well. So we're really dancing across those tops there. Look, we're coming back and testing it really on support. We should just actually come back and have a look at that for a moment. Let's go to the monthly chart. Where are we now on the 1 hour? So yeah, so you can see just up here that it's funny because what normally happens is that when you approach the old high, sure, you can just blast through it, but normally there's a few things that will happen. The normal case is you'll come to it and then you'll just react from the high. The other point is you'll get a bit of an overshoot pattern and then you'll come back and do it, so that's didn't really stop there, so it sort of ran out of breath and folding back over into that. So yeah, one way or another, you always got to kind of look out for it in that regard. So that's where we are really in that bigger picture sort of thing. Coming back to the 1 hour chart here just for a moment, I've got a nice 5 waves down here, so we can look at being the ABC back to the 50-60% retracement level there somewhere, just in there. I think let's just go to the tick chart, shall we? Just a little bit easier to work it a bit. There's a couple of things I want to say here. So this B wave up here can also be wave 2, okay? It's not a biggie. But in one way or another, we should be going down to the 7,000. So that's pretty exciting. So first things first though, the move from the top here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, that looks pretty good to me. And then we've got the ABC to pull back up into, well, 7,265 sort of area, can go a bit higher. What we also just need to be mindful of as well is that when markets, sometimes they don't pull when they're in a third of a third, they don't pull all the way back. They can just come to 40% or something, may even just come back to the 50%. So we just need to be careful. So we've got a few things here that we can discuss here. One of them is that this this wave 4 here, if we look at this as wave 1, we've currently got a little ABC back up into the box here. So it could stall at that point and come through. Now if it comes through, you need to be short below the 7,072. Okay, so you need to be short there. If the market's going to give us a rally up here as such, then we'll need to find another way into all of that. So far up here, you can see that we've got 1 and 2 here, and this would be the third wave. So it can fail from here. It could be down for 1, back for 2, and then just continue to move down from that point. What I want to say is that if this high here is breached, let's just say for a moment the market pushes up here, right? If it pushes up here, then it's going to be that A wave, isn't it? Then we're going to have 3 waves back for the B wave at that point. If we do make a new high above here, that will be 5 waves up. So we will get 3 waves back, and then we'll get another 5 waves up. We may just come to the 250 up here as well, so we need to be, there'll be good resistance there's a resistance here, here, and here on that. But if you do get a new high here, the point being is that then you'll have 5 waves up, so you get 3 back and then another 5. So what you can do at that point, let's just say that it happens and we get another high up here, then you can take that and put it across to the bottom of the B wave and then look to short over here for that. Or you could just use the B wave when it comes in as well. But you can only know that that's coming because it's pushed up. And if you're going to trade down on the short side, well then the first thing that you need to look for is an impulse wave. Try to get a decent size one and then look back for the correction and then move down at that point. So having that 5 waves under your belt, kind of puts the wind behind your back, because you know that you're going to be dropping below that, and you can put your stop there. I mean, it might only come down as an A and a B and a C and you've made a mistake and you go back up, but at least you don't have a big loss. You can get to break even or have a small loss or a small profit. So having that 5 waves behind you is just the ticket to ride, as the Beatles would say. So that's that at this stage. So just to rehash that low is critical, so you need to be short below that, and otherwise we're going to see some sort of rally here, and then we need to be on the short side, looking for the short side. Okay, so that's that. Let's have a look at the banks. So I mean, if the banks, if the ASX is going to rally, then it kind of makes sense that this would going to rally as well. And obviously that could give us a new top here. So that will be sort of interesting. I'm not that keen on taking that because I can see the bearish side for the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the Australian market. So I'm just going to leave this, but I'll leave it up to you. If this top is taken here, then there's a good case that you can go long at that point. Okay, but otherwise, I think I'm just going to stay with the short side for the time being. We can move these out of the way. They're looking a bit clunky there. But that's kind of what we're looking for, the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. It's a little bit of a guessing game for me here at this point. If you wanted to short it, you could short it below here, because I don't know how far it's going to... The distance above is normally the distance below it comes in that case, so we should be down at 95 at least. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, if you wanted to short it, this would be a switch setup on the daily chart. So you can see that on our website, what the switch is. It's fantastic for going long. So it would have put you long here. It'll put you short just here. But you need to sort of get a bit of a grip on it in that case, But we'll see how that plays out. The ANZ where are we, ANZ. So we were looking for the ANZ. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. We noted that this move up here was like an A wave and a B wave, and so we probably push up a little bit higher here, but I'm also reluctant to go long here as well, because it can just turn at that point. From this low here, for example, after this low to up here, there'll be 5 waves in that. As I mentioned here, if there's anything above that 5 waves, then we can go long because we've got something else at that point. But we do need to allow that to play out. I mean, you know, can we stick wave 4 here as a C wave here? You know, that was the other question. But I'm just kind of tuning in with the US markets a bit with this to get a bit of you know, an understanding of it. So I'll just stay like this for the time being. But yeah, I mean, I could easily be wrong and put the wave 4 here and, you know, look at all of this here, but we never made a new high here for that. That concerns me a bit. So there's a lot going on in this sideways pattern that we could look at it in different ways, but I don't have enough evidence to go long, put it that way. I know that we had an impulse wave here, so we talked about that yesterday, and we'll get another one here. But beyond that, that's what we need to see. We don't want to get trapped and it comes down on us, you know. So we'll just have to chill on that. And China, where's China for the, this is the A50, nothing to do with the other market. So yeah, we're calling that low in there, but we don't have enough evidence yet. This could just be an A and a B and a C wave here. This 5 wave is not finished. If it moves beyond that 5 wave structure, then we've got a bullish market, and that will be helpful to you know, the 10 cents and the Alibabas of the world in that thing. You know, they might be recovering from that point. We just want to, I do want to have a look at the oh, it has dropped a little bit, hasn't it? Well, that's okay. So we could look at, this is the Shanghai comp here. So we could look at this here as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. So up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, and back for 2 at that point. So we'll just see how it plays out. It's not breaking down just yet, so that's okay. I'll just check on India. It's a little bit softer still, so yeah, look, probably that top is right there. We're not getting the setup. We don't need to be, you know, it's the trading levels and the Elliott, of course, has helped us not to be, you know, to get out at that particular point and not to get back in until we've got a setup. Now, obviously you can go short here. I'm not that interested in trading against the trend, but if you were going to trade it at this point, then you can just short it under there and just keep the stop really tight. So just copy that, we'll just put the stop there. You could probably even get it above that other previous bar there as well in that case. But I haven't looked at the intraday, but well, if that was going to be breached, you could just go to there as well. So a bit of a robo switch method here. I mean, and really we should have gone under that low. We haven't done that, so we'll do that. But that I'm just sort of, I'm in that woulda, coulda, shoulda mode. Not to worry. But anyway, if you wanted to short it, that's it. But okay, so over to iron ore, to the commodities. And there's a couple of things that we could note here is that we do have a nice ABC pattern down to here. Not the greatest sort of 5-wave structure within here. I'll need to go back and look at that. But we do have a lot of volume coming in here, so they're probably stockpiling it because their stockpiles were low. When you know the Ghani or the Guinea thing is not panning out for them in lots of different ways. This little move up through here, we've just been sort of observing it. We don't really have an impulse wave here just yet, but the good news is that we've got a this little move here. We could probably look at it in 3 waves. There is a chance that we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, but I would assume that this has got 5 waves in it. So realistically, anything above that now we could go long on. It's not the most beautiful impulse wave. Let's go in and check on it again. So we just need to okay. So I haven't started counting it as such, but we can count from the low here as an impulse wave to the upside and a correction. We could look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, probably count that a little bit differently. So we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We can't look at it as 5 waves from here to here. It doesn't sort of work very well. But see, in the same case, it could also be an A, B, C to here, for an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave up here finishing, you know. So from here we can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably 5 to here. We could probably even use that to there though, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Let's clear that, clear my mind. I mean, it has dropped a bit, hasn't it? So just looking at the 38.2% will just help me get to where I need to get to a little bit quicker. So not really getting sort of much here, but the fact that it's pulled back, I'll need to do some work on it. But I think that what we could do is, because it's the 61.8%, anything above that, we could start to look at a bullish pattern. But I'm just a little bit concerned we've got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to that point. But and also too, if I can just cut through, I'm just going to go to US BHP, which is not really the iron ore thing, but I mean, it's obviously huge in iron ore, 10% in energy and other stuff, but I can still see here we're not landed just here yet. So we've got 1 and 2, a nice third wave, and then we seem to have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So, and the third wave and a fourth and a fifth. So I think that we've still got you know, we've still got further to come. We've still got a week to come down here, really. Another 5 bars at least here for this to land properly. Iron ore stocks might be a little bit more receptive. Let me just have a quick look at I'll do all that later. I'll do that later. I need to stay with the commodities for a second. So just to rehash iron ore, yeah, I'm not totally convinced that we're in a move to the upside just yet. So we'll just need to spend a bit more time on that. So going over to gold, let's just get a bit more data in here. We've got a nice move up now. So we'd been counting down as wave A here, wave B here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. Then we talked about an impulse up here and an ABC here. We talked about being long above the B wave. So let me just clean this up a little bit, and hopefully one for Helen here. That's the B wave that we should have been long at there to unlock that hedge. So we need to see how this plays out. Where are we here? This is obviously a wave 4. I'm just not sure we're in that wave 4. So we could be a wave 4 from this point. So that 38.2%, I'll have to do a little bit of work on that. So it's either there when we move up, or the other case would be that we need to look at it here. So that means that we would actually come down to this one and then move up from that point. So I'd need to just have a look at that. So 1 and 2 here, and then up for wave 3 here and back for wave 4, and then moving up higher. But we could also have this third wave not finished as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here just for the third wave. I'm not quite sure just yet. It does look like a fourth wave of 1 lesser degree. If you've traded this long, then we need to put in a stop, which we can do there. I don't need that now. And so in a bit of a nutshell, if we've got this right, we should be on our way to C up here. So that means that we should take out, where are we, 2050. That means we should be taking out this 1830 up here. That 1830. Can we look at this in more of a bearish light? I mean, we could, but I can't really do that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, because wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 by a bit as well, do you know? Like, I mean, it was spiky. I could take that one. Oh no, it had a fair bit of traffic there and had a correction also before that, so it should have pushed up there either way. So I don't think we can look at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I don't think we can do that. This other resistance from this top to this one, that's also right on the 61.8%. That's why it's going to stick there for a while. And then we'll also need to just have a look at the next point. Is that it? No, it's one more up here, way up there. So the other one is, the other sticky point's going to be here. Okay, so all we can do is continue to work this here. Now, we don't really have 5 waves up yet, so this whole move up could be corrective at that point. We shouldn't see this market drop back below from here to here. We shouldn't see it back at the 61.8%. It shouldn't be back in this. It shouldn't be back in this zone here. If it comes back into this zone here, then Houston, we've got a problem, you know. Okay, we'll just leave that for the time being. Let's have a quick look at silver. So silver, from wave 4 up here, we've been looking down for wave 5 here. We've got 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. We're looking down for 5. Still not giving me a nice move down. I mean, do I need to look at that wave 4 completely differently as well as an A, B, C, D, and E wave here for wave 4, and then down for wave 5, and then this wave 4 here? So something's not happening very well here. Nothing has been happening well in here. So I've just really left it and sort of stood back a little bit, and what's happened is that we've seen the continued mess, but we've also seen it edge lower. Now obviously this has moved higher because of in line with gold, but will it break out from that point? You know, that's the other point, and we're probably better off sharpening our knives on this and putting that there. So we'll just see. If I made a mistake anywhere, I just maybe I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put this wave 3 there. I'll need to think about that, and then put that wave 4 over here for that, and then call that wave 5 in here. We could do that, but we'd need to get an impulse. It's not very nice impulse wave, but we know it is. Anyway, we'll need to gather more information first. Okay, I'm not going to make a move on this just yet, but let's just blank these out here in terms of just dulling them out, put them in as alternative counts. It means I need to check that there. I mean, I think I've checked, I think it's okay, but I'll need to go back and double check it because of what's happening. Yeah, so where's copper at the moment? Okay, so that's where that is. So that's taken our triangle pattern out. And we can still have this as a B wave. I mean, it doesn't give me 5 waves down here. That's my problem with that. It still gives me this as an ABC. So I think I still have to keep that as a B wave here unless I get 5 waves, an A and a B and a C. Or maybe this has got to go over here, and I've got to put that here, and I've got to put that up there. Let's just go back to the daily chart for a moment. So we'll have to look at it a little bit differently, I guess. But it's not over just yet. And we didn't get 5 waves down here, so that's, I think we're obviously still in some space here. So maybe just a bigger B wave for this. If I get if we get 5 waves down here, if we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then we'll have to call this, and because that's in 3 waves, that would have to be the A, the B and the C for the B wave here, and still look for the C wave. I still can't call that in as wave 4. I mean, it'll be nice, but I can't see how I could do that. Anyway, I've got to solve that puzzle. It looks like it wants to come down though, doesn't it? I wonder if this is all connected to this in some way. A, B, C, D, E here. You know what I mean? It's a long shot. And then down for wave 4 in 5 and finishing off as a triangle pattern, you know. It's some slippery little sucker. Whoopsie-daisy. I'm just thinking, just hopping along. Which would be kind of nice in a way, because that means that that would give us the end of this. It would give us a bit of a deeper move there. 1, 2. Makes it rather simplistic. But if iron ore is going to bottom, and we want BHP and that to push up, you know, because BHP's, I don't know, it's humongous in copper, isn't it? So I don't know the exact figures and all that, but so it could be something weird like that, like this, you know. I don't know. I mean, I'm moving into the guessing game here, but it's kind of worthwhile looking at all these sorts of patterns, because if we can get this copper to bottom the same time as, or roughly the same time as copper and BHP and all that sort of move in, well then what we can look for is we just really want to see that first 5 waves to the upside, you know. That's what I've been looking for all the time. That's what we're looking for in this particular move, but then we realized we weren't getting it in here and something was wrong. And then we thought, oh well, we could probably get it into here, but it wouldn't be the end of the trend. It would only be the B wave over here. So this is what we'd be searching for. Even if we get 5 waves down here, then we'll be searching for that first impulse wave in this leg here. That's what we'll be doing. So I don't know if this is right. Okay, so I need to go back to the drawing board. Okay, so that brings us over into the dollar mark, and we've got support for the Australian dollar, but that's not going to be very sort of helpful. It's really sort of sticking to the 72 there, so it's not breaking down just yet, but it still could. Let's just have a look at the US dollar index. So the US dollar index, it's the 1 hour chart. I won't go into a big thing. This is wave 4 here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. We can count this in a couple of different ways, but whichever way I count it, by putting wave 3 here or here, we still end up with wave 4 there, so that doesn't matter. You know, that's wave 4. We are seeing wave 5 extend up here. I don't think we're at the end of it. So that makes me think that, well, if we're extending in the 5th wave into a C or 4, it doesn't kind of make any sense for it to extend like that. So we're, as we talked about the other day, we're probably into something bigger. But what I have to do, in all fairness, is I have to wait for this 5-wave structure to finish, and then after that, if we see a corrective movement, a bullish corrective movement down, then we're going to extend the whole thing up. And we talked about that during the week, and I won't go into it right now. But yeah, so in this little move through here, I can see that this will all be wave 1 and 2s in here, and then this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here. So this would be a wave 4 and a wave 5 to go up. So we're not finished yet for this. This is the top of, this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, this top of this box through here. So it's still possible that this can be it, but we're starting to have a look at other counts that would take us up to 98 at that point. So that's a different count altogether. So we still just need to work that. It does appear that based on the 10-year yields here, that we want to be pushing higher for all of this, and on the not these ones, on the treasuries here, we're seeing we can view these as pushing down here on these as well. But as I mentioned before, this is a bit corrective here, so I'm not totally convinced we've got the A, the B and the C here, but that's what I was looking for. So we'll see how that plays out. But it does seem that the US dollar has become of interest. We know that banks are sitting on hordes and hordes of cash, but I don't know. I think it's probably because they just don't want to lend it out because, you know, the economy with the Delta looks a bit sort of rocky, doesn't it, you know? So, yeah, I'm a little bit unsure about this as well, and I'll leave it at that. So I don't have a trade for the Aussie dollar at this point. So we're just going to have a look at BHP, which I missed yesterday. Sorry about that. So I'll just start with the ADR here. So this move here, we've got, if I count this hit from this point, just there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to here. Now that may go down a bit further at this point, but we've still got this wave 1 here, unless that's all the A, the B, and the C to that point, but don't think so. So, yeah, look, I think that this would be a buy on the $50, because on the $50 mark, we'll also get the bounce from that point too. So it will be close to the low, and you can also get the bounce at that point there as well. So I think we've still got further to go here for this. Just a little bit easier to read there than it is on the Australian BHP. We're also very close to the 61.8% down here. That's why it'd be kind of nice to have the copper market and the iron ore sort of finish off you know, nicely at this point. Is this actually finished at this point just here? It's moved up, but it's moved up on lower volume, so we need to get some follow through on that to sort of confirm that. But yeah, it looks like it's overlapping that there. Let's just have a look at the tick chart. So we'd been working it on the tick chart. So from this wave 4 here, we looked at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. ABC for the still leaves us with the 4th wave here, and then it was a matter of working out this here. So maybe I've got this wrong a little bit. It's interesting that that's so high, so we might need to call that in, but then I still need to gather evidence on that. It would just mean that, so this would all have to be wave 1 and 2, and that would have to be the 3rd wave and the 4th wave and the extension in the 5th wave. So possibly just doesn't quite look right, but that's okay. We're currently at the 61.8% here for this. So what we could do, we could say that we'll be interested in if the market moved up any higher than that, because I'll have to take it from that point. That was the last leg, so it's got the most meaning in it. Yeah, let's see how that floats. So there's a couple of things we could do here. Is we could, obviously, 40 is the closest largest number. If we get a classic trading levels pattern on that, we can go long. If we also get a classic trading levels pattern on top of the 38, we could also go long as well, but we'll just go long with half a position at that point. And what we'd be looking for would be some sort of first high above the level. So it's going to be something like that, do you know what I mean? And then it'll be like a cross there. That would be something weird like that. It won't give us a really good classic trading levels pattern, but it's the point being that because it's so much higher, then we've probably got the low in play. So we'll be looking for something like that, okay, for half a position at that point. But also what we need to be careful of as well, just shooting the breeze here further, is the count to the upside. So on Monday we'll check on this. So that's probably wave 1 and ABC for wave 2 there in that instance. So because that would be wave 1 and 2 here, and that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, ABC here. But that's still a bit short for the third wave here, even though it has gapped. So let's start to pull apart that on Monday. I'll just put a few of these in here so we can just do a bit of a count. I need to start getting a bit of an idea on that. It may be a false start, you know, but and this could be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave up here, hopefully speaking, and the fourth and the fifth up here, and then that would give us wave 1 at that point, and then we can look back for wave 2 here. If that's the case, that's what we're looking for with that high, you know what I mean? I'll just pop that up there so we've got an idea, and then we've got this correction coming back here. So we're going to use a couple of things here. We're using the number 8. We're also using the Elliott Wave count here, and we'll also use the classic trading levels pattern sitting at the 38. So the trading levels and the Elliott Wave count for our setup to get our first position in there. Let's see how that looks. So anyway, looking good. That's something. Let's just got to have a look at Rio now though. Where's Rio? Okay, kind of interesting. We've also got, if I can just count this here as well, sorry for taking up time, but you can see the 5 waves up there, can't you? But the move down is quite deep. That's a little bit sort of haunting. It's a nice wave 1, nice wave 2, nice wave 3. I don't know if it needs to go there or there. I don't know about that wave 4 though. That's kind of a bit weird, isn't it? Or maybe that needs to go there and that needs to go there. Anyway, a little bit of work. But that looks like 5 waves there, so that's a problem. So we're going to need some more information, but we've got the 100 to work on as well. What we might need to do is wait for the next little 5 waves up through here in a way. So we need wave 1 here and wave 2. So we'll look at this on the Monday, shall we? Let's just see. We're getting ready for all that. I wish that was in a nice 3 waves, and it could be 3 waves. Just looks so impulsive, that's all. So we just need to be a bit careful. Okay, anyway, but look, it's something, you know, which is good. And need to check on Rio, I mean FMG, which will obviously be doing much the same in its own little way. So, okay, right, okay. Well, that kind of explains Rio a little bit. Maybe we do have an expanded flat correction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 with 5 waves down. And but still we need to push up at that point. So if you're still in the game, we've got half a little position there. So we need to see that build up, which can also be corrective at this point. We could certainly lose on this trade, but that's our resistance. So you could also look to add above that there as well. So that brings us in, just looking at this at the 1550 there. So support on the 1550, look for a little classic trading levels pattern, and that will put us on that side of the fence there as well. But this could easily come down as well. We could also look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, then down for 1 and back for 2, and then moving down here lower as well. But if you were long here, you knew the risk, so you're big and old and ugly enough to take a little loss of that. So that's that. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.